Folks, they've gone to the bullpen and called in the right-hander. Nothing wrong with your TV set. It really is Black Renaissance, or as the French say, Renaissance Noir. Vern Glenn pinch hitting for Kristen Ayers, who, as we like to say, is on assignment. We got a good one for you today. And as always, please pitch us with show ideas and check out archives of these and other segments on Facebook.com/Black Renaissance KBCW-TV. All right, now, first up, a guy who wears a whole lot of hats, Charles Chip McNeil, curriculum and program specialist from the San Francisco Opera, but so much more. I mean, artist, teacher, educator, dancer, activist. When do you sleep?
I don't sleep. I don't sleep. I'm in the world, and I want to be part of it, and I want to make a difference. So,
speaking of world, great segue, because you want to make the world a better place. You've said so many of these things in your seminars. And with that, and the arts, and the San Francisco Opera, what are you doing, your little part, in getting to these millennials, having them put the controllers down and get into theater?
Well, let's cut to the chase. Arts education is about social justice. It's about an education that's well-rounded. It's about an education that speaks to different ways of learning, different ways of knowing, and different ways of telling the story of who we are. And part of my job at the San Francisco Opera is really trying to make sure that teachers, families, students understand that this is not just some eccentric, Eurocentric art form that is past dated, that it is an art form about storytelling, and that it deals with historical things as well as contemporary issues, and that each of them can find their place in it and can find their voice.
Do you get the student that maybe comes in and kind of looks at you cross-eyed like, yeah, I don't know, I'd rather be playing ball, but then you get them for 10 minutes, and all of a sudden they're hooked.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Because they've been fed a certain amount of information, misinformation, about what the arts are, about what singing or dancing may be about. But once you get them involved, and once they feel what it feels like to truly express yourself or tell your story, and that simple feeling that comes up when you are in a creative process, then they're hooked. And then they know it's something personal, and it's something about them.
We are all products of our environment, so to speak.
Yes.
How do you even get to these kids? How do you get them to take that risk?
Yeah, it's a challenging role, but it's a multi-pronged approach. And part of my job as the curriculum and program specialist is to find ways of telling the story about what is opera and what it is that you can learn in and through opera. I work with classroom teachers, I work with other educators, I work with teaching artists who go into public schools and work with students. But we also work with families, and we also work with community groups. So it's a multi-pronged approach, and the idea is to find each for one of those groups, to find their way in, to find the doorway to understanding it. Because let's face it, one of the things that keeps so many families away from participating in classical arts is they don't feel like they know anything about it.
Right.
So you have a family workshop, right? Where the family, where a mother and a father can come in together with their students, with their child, and learn about this art form together, and therefore not feel like it's something beyond them or something that they can't really expose their child to.
You know how it is, Chip. I mean, we're all afraid and weary of what we don't understand, right?
Right. It's so true. It's so true. And the fear of the unknown is a normal thing. But what happens is there is the essence of what arts education is about, arts integration. And that is, it's not just learning about one subject versus another, but it's learning in a creative and hopefully multi-pronged, comprehensive way about not only the art form, but about so many different other subject matters. And that's why teachers buy in. And that's why they understand that when you are teaching a comprehensive arts education program, like we do at San Francisco Opera, through programs like the San Francisco Aria Network program, we have workshops for families, professional development for educators, that all these different things are pathways to understanding. And our job, we feel, that we want this community, a larger and a more diverse community, to be part of what we do and part of the story we tell.
And you got to break down barriers, these misconceptions. I would say a popular misconception for opera would be, oh boy, $150 a pop, and I got people screaming Latin at me for 2 hours.
Right. And
with subtitles.
and it's true, some of opera is in a language like Italian or German or French, but some of it is sung in English. And we produce special DVDs, special movies. For instance, these kind of movies, this is a special 1 hour movie, and this one is based on Cinderella. And this movie is the kind of thing we provide to teachers, or that we might do a special screening for families. And it's in English, so sometimes you don't have to worry about the different language issue. You don't have to worry about the subject matter being something you don't understand. We're going to find multiple pathways that can get you into that art form in a way that feels meaningful and relevant to you.
And you have to be a great educator. I mean, you have to love what you're doing and believe in the product in order to really kind of sell it. And if you could just go back to maybe your background, because you have such, I mean, the passion is just oozing through your clothes right now.
Yeah. You know what? I believe that you teach who you are. You teach compassion. You teach empathy. You teach passion. You teach the will and the interest in learning and knowing about the world. The way that you can tell your story and learn about the stories that have been told through all of history and throughout civilizations throughout time. I have that passion, and what I hopefully do, if I do it well, is teach others to tap into their passion so they can also share it with young people and with families and with diverse communities so they can be a part of this art form.
How long have you been affiliated with this program with the opera?
I've been with the opera for about 2 years now. And already I've seen an incredible growth. I don't know if you know.
That was going to be on my follow-up, the response to it.
Right. Well, even just this past year, we just opened the Diane B. Wilsey Center for Opera at the Veterans Building here in San Francisco. And in that building, we actually have a studio called the Bryan Education Studio, which is a special space just for families and students and teachers to come and to work with us and to learn about this art form. And this is one of the most important developments because so many arts organizations don't have a dedicated space, a dedicated time, or even the dedicated programs that do this. So this is one of the things that the opera has taken on, and they're committed to making this kind of work continue into the future.
Okay, I'm going to be the parent out there watching. Right. I'm going to be the one who's, well, I got a tight budget. Well, what's this going to cost me?
Well, you know what? So many of our programs are low and no cost. You know the work we do at the ballpark, and you know we have opera in the Golden Gate Park as well. But our programs for families and students and teachers, many of them are low cost or no cost. So there is a way in. There is a way to be part of it. There is a way, for instance, high school students can come to a special dress rehearsal, no cost. Teachers and families and educators can get their students and get their families to some of these performances, again, for low or no cost, and it really just depends on the particular opera and the particular pathway that we can establish for them. But there are alternatives.
That's it. I'm sold. That's it. I mean, I'd come today, but I have a game. Hey, Chip, thanks so much, man. Hey, for more information, log on to sanfranciscoopera.com. That's sanfranciscoopera.com. And next up, a woman who spearheads and helps broaden young minds in the Bay Area. So to speak, we're making it rain with the power of Catrice Rain in a moment.